Hello and welcome to the very first installment of Monthly Favorites. The main reason as to why I'm actually making this series on this channel is because I have a few stuff that are related to the medium of photography, may it be film or digital, that I wasn't able to feature on the channel, and doing this type of series I will be able to feature them and basically discuss on why do I actually have them and how I use them as a source of inspiration or whatever. So these are items, may it be a camera, photo book, accessories to those cameras, and even fashionable items. So I wanted to also mention that this is basically inspired by none other than Willem Verbeek. He's been doing this on his channel. So without further ado, let's hop on the very first item on the list. So the very first item on the list is the Places+Faces Photo Book Volume 2. This photo book, I was on the hunt for such a long time, and during the holidays, I was very fortunate that they did actually restock this one, and I am pretty sure that this is still available on their website, because during the making of this video, I did double check if they still had it. So then for any of you guys who would be interested, you guys can actually purchase the photo book from their website. The main reasons as to why I did actually like this photo book is because, one, I am a big fan of the Places+Faces brand, and second, I'm actually a big fan of Daniel Caesar. And also another reason is that I am a big fan of portraits and fashion, and this book actually embodies those two things. And also, I did mention on my other previous videos that I'm actually on a pursuit of actually collecting photo books now, which is a way of consuming these photographs in a different way in comparison to consuming photographs on Instagram. Moving to the next one is this Lomo instant film camera. I've actually had this film camera for months now. I did actually get this a few weeks after acquiring my Fuji Instax Wide 300. And one of the reasons being as to why I actually did get this camera is because I did come across a couple people on Instagram who was able to do long exposures taking night photography with instant film camera. The reason why I bought this is because of the long exposure, and there are a few things where this camera is of advantage than the Fuji camera that I have now. A few of those reasons are that this camera has 3 modes of shooting: automatic, second is 1/38 of a shutter speed. This is very handy because it allows you to actually shoot in studios if you are using a flash, because this camera is also equipped with a PC sync port, so you can definitely use an external flash if you wanted to. And the third one is the bulb mode, which is responsible for long exposures. And another thing is it actually does allow you to shoot multiple exposures. If you're into that, then this camera is good for you. The last one is the lens cap. The lens cap is basically a remote for both the long exposure and just for instant camera. For instance, if you wanted to shoot group photographs and you wanted to trigger this camera remotely, you can use that, which is very handy, and I've tried it myself. So like I said, it's very good. In the meantime, these are some of the photos that I've shot using this camera. The next item on the list is this Metz flash. I was actually inspired by Negative Feedback. The flash that Negative Feedback is using is the sequel to the flash that I'm using, so it is one generation ahead of mine. I did read reviews before purchasing this flash, and I found out that the differences are too minor for me to consider the one that Negative Feedback is using. That being said, this flash that I got is more than enough for what I need, and I originally bought this for my Pentax 6.7. I did find out was that this flash also works for digital cameras that uses flash sync ports, and it so happened that my Fuji X Pro 2 happens to have one of those. So in my recent shoot, I was able to test this out and it just works like a charm. Also, I have only tried this to my digital camera yet recently, and I have not tried it on any of my film cameras, which I am yet to do in the future. Also, I will be making that full review in the future, which is also using my film cameras as well, so stay tuned for that. I forgot to mention that I did purchase this flash last month before the holidays. The condition is still pretty good for the price that I got it for. Moving on, this item is nothing major. This is just a male to female PC sync cord. This is just for me to be able to use the flash without restricting myself. The only downside of this is that the cord is pretty long, and at some point it actually tangles and it gets in the way. I've been thinking to myself why I decided to get a cord instead of just getting a wireless trigger for this flash, but the only reason why I did not do that first was that I was skeptical that the triggers might not just work, because the triggers that I found on Amazon were all brand specific, such as Canon or Nikon or whatever. I thought that that might just be an issue. I will probably try that in the future and might as well include that in the review. So I actually did get this from B&H. That being said, those are all the items. If any of you guys are interested, I will definitely link all of the links for all of these items in the description down below for all of you guys to see, and for any of you guys who would be interested in buying them. And that's pretty much it for this video. So if you guys did like this video, please like the button as it helps the channel a lot. And if any of you guys are new on this channel, thanks for dropping by, and subscribe for more amazing videos in the future. Also, you can check out my work on Instagram at Analogville and at Erwin Alejo. The description for those two would also be in the description down below for you guys to check out. And until next time, peace.